intros and stuff?
Pretty much, yeah. So
Yeah,
probably about
right.
5 pass to realistically go, probably start quali and all that.
Yeah, I'll just tell everybody then.
Yeah.
I don't know why the music plays super loud.
Racing! Oh, he's gone! He's gone!
Good evening, race fans. Welcome to Sector 1. Tonight we're all the way over at Italy for the Autodrome Lago Maggiore GP track. Joining me in the box tonight we have a newcomer. His name is Lachlan, aka Lenosis. How are you tonight, Lenosis?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Not too bad. Also for the Supercup boys we have D-Flow, who has pulled out of his race tonight to help us do some comms. So if you're in there, D-Flow, give us a shout out.
Yes, good evening everyone. How are you?
Not too bad. Alright, so we have the big Group A boys. We've got some times getting posted which are on the side of ridiculous. Yeah, so let's get to it. So we'll take it easy on Lenosis tonight. It's his first go, so bear with us. If anything goes wrong, we'll get it sorted.
Yeah, so I think we should get quali underway and get this started.
We don't have any points on offer because I forgot to get them made up tonight, but we'll bring it up shortly if I can.
The points table.
Yeah, I seen it somewhere today. Someone put it out for us, which would be Jimmy.
So currently on the top of the point standings for the Auto 1 GT3 Challenge, you've actually got Evil Evo X, who's on the top at 107 points. Bumcrack for Ragged Edge Racing in second on 99, and we've got Darkside once again for Ragged Edge at 97. They are your top three in GT3 Challenge.
Now we've also had Darkside pull out tonight, so he's not racing, which will affect his championship points, obviously. But yeah, sitting in third place is not where you want to be. Taking the big step off to this is where the points are at, is in the Group A. You get less points for Group B, but he'll certainly be able to come back with that. So big race for Mr. Bumcrack last week. Start to finish, led the race, won the race. Stellar job. Not too bad from Evil last week as well. He was still up there, but just yeah, Mr. Bumcrack just had the pace around Spa, so he was the one to beat. All right, so there's your points for the top three.
Yep.
Honourably Airborne, who's not far behind. Did you mention Honourably Airborne? He's on 92 points, so not too far behind. And then Wakey, who we know is coming up, and is one of the fast drivers as well. So he's on 86. So they're not far from each other, but Evil's definitely got a little bit of an advantage there. He's in the triple digits already. But when you're ready, let's go quali.
Yeah, let's get this qualifying underway. Alright. I think everybody's in. We're missing one driver who had connection issues, King Oscar, but that's about everything from that side.
Yeah, so King Oscar was trying to join this lobby for a good hour, and it just won't let him. So we're running a car short tonight, unless he can join into the qualifying or get into the lobby at all. In the meantime, if he can, he'll start off the back of the grid. All right,
Which
so
of course isn't ideal starting at the back of the grid, but you'd rather be in the race than not in it at all. So yeah, he's still having those issues. So what happens is he joins, and then he just sits there and loads, and then eventually it just kicks him out. So don't really know know what's going on there.
Alright, so we'll do a bit of a run through the order. What we have here is GTP Greatness. Is he out front? No, he's not. He's dead last.
Ah, here we go. It's sorted itself out now.
Alright, so Carbon Boy for Obsession Motorsport. He'll be in the Tamar Cars entry. Second, we have Gurr 17. One of the Dadson Racing drivers from for Bacchus. Honourably airborne in third. He's going to be looking to get some points back on the top three tonight, so he'll be on a mission. He's in the Merlin Garage Doors entry for Lightning Motorsport. Then we have Dadson in fourth, who was second of the Bacchus cars, owner of Dadson Racing. He'll be wanting to get his way back up to Group A too. Jim Bob in fifth. D'Angelo is the sponsor of that one. He has told me a million times what it is, but I can't remember. But that's CJ Esports. Mr. Bumcrack in sixth. Auto 1, Ragged Edge Racing. Old Wakey for Revolution Race Gear for Death Grip. Then we got Daz 930 for the Gamesman, which will be Deeds Racing. Down in ninth we've got Shinobi for Chill Out Systems, which is Racing Cars Like Legends. In 10th we got VF. VF's been on a bit of an up and down roller coaster this season, but he'll be out for revenge around Maggiore. He's in the Aussie Hampton Porsche. Now we've lost it since they're already on their first out lap. But we'll get there. I think it might have just been GTP Greatness left.
Have you run through tyres and what people are starting on yet?
No, I can't see that information on my screen just because
So,
how we do it.
Yep, so starting on the softs is Evil Evo, Daz, Shinobi, Grassies, and Carbon Boy, and the rest are starting on the mediums. So it's going to be interesting because they've all obviously done a lot of practice and they know, or they think they know what's going to be the best strategy for tonight. So it's going to be interesting where they place in qualifying and where they're going to end up by the end of it to see whether they start on the softs or mediums, whether that's going to work in their favour in terms of the undercut, overcut, or whatever they want to do with their strategy, try and get away at the front of the pack, or just try and sit behind someone in the slipstream and save their tyres in the field.
Yeah, I tried that kind of scenario last weekend, and yeah, I got out to a good lead in the Group B race, but certainly couldn't handle the mediums on the second stint in the second half of the race, and they caught me back. So it is a catch-22 situation, whether or not you take the mediums first up or you take the softs first up. There's also, from what I've been hearing today too, maybe a two-stop could work here. So see what plays out for some of the teams. It looks like we've got Daz coming up to his first first flyer. 55.5.
That's pretty alright.
Go ahead when you can. 55.5 from Shinobi, so they're roughly on time. If you need to get something across, just butt in.
Yeah.
Grassies 55.7. Carbon Boy. What's he got for us? King Oscar's still trying to join the room, but it's just not letting him. Alright, in chat, welcome Womble, welcome D-Flow, hello D-Flow, welcome DJ, Diego's Fan Club, Kazi One's in there, Jackery Q's in there, welcome everyone. Hopefully we get some good racing tonight.
I think especially when we're talking about the one-stop or two-stop, this track, it's not a long pit lane and it's on the shorter side, so unlike Spa, which you'd be losing like 50 seconds of time per pit stop, I think the two-stop could definitely be on the table, similar to in Willow Springs, where people were using that shorter pit lane to their advantage. But I think also the tyre wear around here isn't as high as some other tracks, so either strategy could work in people's favour tonight.
Yeah, I think it's just the pit transfer time. I mean, 18. It's about 18 seconds, I believe. It's a long time to try and make the gap back. But if you're game to do it, give it a go.
Yeah, and I think this season we've seen a lot of people like stray aside from that two-stop strategy, and they've just been going for that one stop, which seemed to have proven itself after Spain. I don't think we've seen any. I don't think we saw any two stops at Spa, because the distance that you would have lost has been way too much doing the two stops. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what strategy people do.
So we got Daz. Daz has dropped to 54.8, 8.43, and then followed by Grasty's Mr. Bumcrack, who is 1/1000th of a second behind in second place. Gers holding on to third, honourably airborne in fourth. We'll see the numbers come down. They've probably got one more flying lap. They probably won't get another one in. It's a really quick qualifying. We've got 8 minutes, and then we're on to a 40-minute race. 54.2 from GTP Greatness puts him up into pole.
That was a very quick lap, 54.2 for these guys. That's almost 6/10 above second place. It's a mega lap right there.
Alright, so he's got a full lap to go. Daz will be the next one to cross the line, but there's still a bit of a way yet. We got a bit of a bunched up pack down here in about 6th and 7th. Probably even a tad further back than that. So Jim Bob, what can he do? Needs to apply the pressure tonight, because he needs to get up there, get back up with the front runners. We know he can. He's got the speed to do it.
Just looking down at 8th, 9th, and 10th, they're very, very close in there. Within 10th of a second, there's 3 cars, so it'll be interesting to see if they improve on their times. With 2 minutes left, all the cars should get another lap after this one.
Well, I just seen Daz pull into the pits. We've got a minute 45 left. He's not going to get around for another flying lap. I don't know if that was a good call or not.
Yeah, it's going to be close, and he's just absolutely cut that first turn through the suit there. Let some cars through.
Alright, so we've got GTP Greatness. He's purple again. He's pushing the car. You can see the back end sliding out everywhere. King Oscar's still trying to join.
Down through Corsa now. Let's see what GTP Greatness can do. Oh, he goes slower, so he's lost a bit of time through that last sector.
Alright, so it looks like we've got maybe honourably airborne, just sitting on track there. Had enough of qualifying already. Happy with 5th. I reckon Wakey's going to set a blistering time. Been known to pull a fast time out of his bag of tricks. Alright, Mr. Bumcrack, what's he got? Might even have a little bit of a toe here, which might be from Dadson or Ger. Oh, he's 0.7 up. That's enough to go another spot higher. 0.070, I should say. He's going to have a good toe here too, up the down to the main straight. He's got a fair bit of a gap to make up to GTP, but he might get Daz here. Oh, not quite. He misses out by the smidgen.
5 1/1000ths. That's very close. That.
I reckon that's going to be just about. Where's Wakey? Yep, he's done. Grassley set a 55.3, which put him into 7th. Alright, so once all these boys finish their laps. We'll see if we can catch on to the last couple. It's just too hard to find out where they are. All right.
GTP is coming down. I don't think he's going to improve. No, he doesn't. Very slow. 202. And who's coming up now?
Yeah.
Alright, so there's our qualifying.
Oh, we've only got 12 cars on the grid. Who else missed out?
I can see 13. I think you can't see Evil Evo, so you might need to fix that up in a minute because you kept saying that cars were higher than they actually were. Can you see Evil Evo in fourth?
No, he's not even on the
Yeah, alright.
not even on the list of cars.
Yeah. So we're gonna need to fix that up before the race, but I should have qualifying results so we can fix that up. I should probably.
All right, so these boys are getting red flagged. Now we'll try and work out how to get to see Evil. So
If you just leave and then join back, that should fix it up.
hopefully I can get back into your room.
Yeah, you can't, then it's going to be a bit of a problem. But
All right, so hang on, I'll just check on the side here. Yeah, he's not even on the list inside the room for me. So yeah, I'll jump out, come back in. While we're waiting, everyone put in your podium finishes for this race. It's going to be hard to go against GTP with that lap. So GTP, Bumcrack. Yeah, and then I think Datson's probably going to maybe step up. Yep, trying to fix the Evil on stream thing at the moment. We'll just jump out. We're going to jump back into the room, see if he's there. I can see 13 in the room. I've had a bit of a weird connection with the PlayStations today. Like there's people not being able to see in the spectator mode. King Oscar not being able to join in at all. But we are in. Alright. I have Evil.
that's good.
Just going to run through the list here. I have Lenosis, Grassies, Dadson, King Oscar trying again, VF, Shinobi, Carbon Boy, Gur, Daz, Jimbo, Wakey, Bumcrack, Evil, GTB Greatness. Alright, so while we're resetting the grid, so we just got to, a few of them started on softs, a few started on mediums. We're going to see the race split up into two different strategies straight off the bat. We're going to see some of the boys on the soft just pull away pretty quick, as you noticed the last couple of rounds. And then, come time mid race where they pit, it'll be a catch up act for the boys on the jump to softs, and the other drivers that have to extend the race on the mediums because they're quite a bit slower. Jump out of there. Alright, I didn't even think to ask you know how to set the grid. It's probably a bit late now, isn't it?
I don't actually know how to set the grid. I thought I did, but apparently I don't.
Alright, so what you'll do is go up to race settings. No.
I have it set to host, like host set.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't see it. Can't see it on my side.
The lobby settings will need to be changed to allow the host to manually set the grid.
That's it.
Yeah, I have it set to set by host.
And then it should be up in the race set, like in the settings. You go up there and it'll say change grid order.
Yep. Got it.
So we've got a few different names I haven't seen in the chat tonight. We got Sarah Asher, Stuart Richards, Pete Solomon. Haven't heard them names before. Welcome, guys. We're just waiting for the grid to be reset, and then we'll be on our way. Obviously, we did qualifying already, and GTV Greatness has taken pole position, so you'll get an extra 2 points for tonight. Once we get the grid set, we'll be underway. Do you need a screenshot? Have you got one of them?
I've got one.
No.
Yep.
All good. Top 3 for tonight's races, I reckon. Already said it. GTP, a bum crack, and Dadson. We'll give Dadson the shot. He needs to get up there.
As I say, Gillette, the best the man can get. No, it'd be good to see him running up in the top half of Group A this weekend. Seems to have shown a bit of pace in the Porsche this season, so no, it'd be good to see him up the front.
Well, he definitely has the pace. I think he's got a bit of work on at the moment, so he doesn't get the time to actually do the practice he probably wants. So that's a big factor, I guess, for a lot of people. We can't just all be like the Corgis and the TX3s and the Brockies and turn up on race night and you're already blisteringly fast.
Yeah, speaking from personal experience, it does help having lots of laps under your belt. It doesn't give you too much confidence if you're running essentially, or not blind, but if you haven't got many laps under your belt, you're sort of running into the unknown. So, but either way, it'll be good fun.
I think everything is ready to go underway. Are you ready to start, Troy?
Ready to go when you are.
All right. Let's get into it.
All right. We're on track. And we are ready to go. Round 5. Maggiore, let's go. GP course. GTP Greatness is off the front, followed by Daz, Bumcrack and Evil. So it's a pretty stacked front 2 rows. Honourably Airborne is in the 3rd row too, so that's not too bad either. One light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we're underway for round 5. Looks like GTP's got the start he needed. Just needs to keep it together. He gets a bit, can get a bit nervous on the first lap if you're leading. You've got so much pressure behind you.
Airborne was a little bit wide through the starter there. I think there might have been a little bit of contact.
Alright, so it's Mr. Bumcrack and Evil side by side through turns 4 and 5. 3 and 4, I should say.
Something has really happened to Jim Bob. He's already 2 seconds behind the rest of the pack, so he started in 8th or 9th, pretty sure. Yeah, he started in 9th. So down in 13th, he's had a horrible start, whether there was an incident coming through Tiramisu. Not really sure.
Well, it's 40 minutes, so he's got time to regain himself. GTP looks as though he's got this track sorted. He's onto a flyer of a first lap. Evil has moved away from Bumcrack. Alright, so we got Greatness in first, Daz in second. Evil in third. Down through NASCAR. Just caught a glimpse of Evil taking the inside there. I don't know if I can grab that on a replay. It might be a bit too late.
Grassy was a bit wide as well.
Here we go. I'll tell you what, he's a long way behind. And just on the replay, he's a very big dive up the inside. He's lucky nothing went further there. Although it might have hindered him because now they're starting to back up to the field. Also in chat, any noise levels haven't got quite right, we can adjust on the fly. Or if you're happy with it, thumbs up. Airborne. He's got Gurr for the overtake. Oh, he's been pushed wide. Oh, no, I don't even know if there was a touch there, but he went wide. Here comes Gurr. The two team backers boys are flying 7th and 8th. Looks as though Gurr might have the edge on Dadson. Back down in Dadson. Dadson looks like he might be backing up a few cars. They've got a couple going 2 and 3 wide, but started straight there.
Yeah, that's a very interesting battle pack. I think there's 5 cars just there. And they're all going to be pressurising Dadson as they on the next few laps or the next few corners. Carbon Boy right on the back of his back bumper right now.
We're currently on Carbon Boy, the Tamar's car from the Session Motorsport. Looks so good. Love all them different colours. But I tell you what, he's got a handful. He's got Shinobi coming right up behind him. He's going to get a bit of a slipstream down the straight here.
Yeah. They're both going to go for the mover. They're going to go 3 wide. Shinobi just holds out there. That's good. If he had gone 3 wide...
It's a bit of bumping going on.
Yeah, he's almost been sent off the track.
It looks as though Grassy's... Is it Grassy's? Yep, going to make his way up there as well.
Oh gosh, look at this. There's 5 cars in the space of about half a second.
Might jump on board with Grassy's.
This is some good racing. Grassy's has got his nose right up in there too.
See what Shinobi does now. He's got around Dadson. So is I can't think of the name.
Carbon Boy?
Carbon Boy, that's the one. I knew it was there, it took me tongue. Oh, Mr. Bumcrack's got a penalty. That's going to set him back a few spots. Down to 9th. This is not the race he was after. Long way to go still, running. 4 minutes in.
It's a long race. We're only an 8 through this race. We've got
VF.
35 minutes less.
VF makes a move. Oh, here comes Jimmy. Jimmy's making a move on VF, I should say. Jimmy's got the eyes on tonight. He didn't have the best start, so he'll be head down, bum up.
All kicking off at the back here. So close at the moment.
Alright, might just jump back up to start.
Yeah, Daz has taken the lead here.
Oh, we missed
I
it.
think last time we checked in, GTP was leading, but they've switched positions, and GTP's probably going to want to stick behind here and just save his tyres and fuel. He's taking that slipstream. Oh, and as I say that, he goes for a move down the inside into NASCAR. And he gets that done. Yes, he does. Daz can't get the switchback. That's a good move.
Oh, I just seen up down further again too. Carbon Boy looks like he's getting hounded there by Shinobi.
Yeah, lots of pressure from Shinobi here, trying to force Carbon Boy into a mistake.
So Daz, GTP's looking really good. I don't know what happened for Daz to get around. Maybe it was just a slipstream. That's pretty good around here, the slipstream, although GTP gets a little sideways down through the last corner. Moving over to get...
Well, we need to remember that looking at that fight between Dadson, Carbon Boy and Shinobi in that, Carbon Boy and Shinobi are on the soft tyre while Dadson is on the medium, so they're naturally just going to overtake him after a while, and Shinobi's actually gone wide and he spun it. Oh, that's not good at all. Shinobi spun it there.
I need to grab this. Alright.
Oh, wow.
We should be able to get it. He's come around the corner. I reckon he's just clipped the outside. They're getting on that grass. It's so slippery. Get on the gas and that's it. Nowhere to go. Mr. Bumcrack's got nowhere to go either.
Back of the pack.
It's gone from good to bad for Bumcrack. He's now sitting in 12th spot. Third on the qualifying order. Way back down the grid now, so he just needs to put in some good laps. He'll get back up there. He's definitely got the pace. We know he has that.
Yeah, talking about Shinobi too, I wonder for him whether the strategy is going to change and try and go aggressive or just lay back a bit and see how many people he can overtake with a good fuel saving and some quick stops. Because sitting 3.5 seconds off bump crack now, it's going to be a tough race for him to get anything that's going to be good for him, his championship. But that's really unfortunate for Shinobi there.
Yeah, I think it's kind of hard to pick on the fly what you should do. I mean, it's like we were talking about earlier, the transit time is what really kills it. But I mean, the mediums are a fair bit slower per lap, so you can make up a fair bit of time, I suppose, on the softs. As Daz runs wide.
Yeah. Now Evil Evo is right on the back of him. He might go for a move here.
Going around the outside too, so it'll set him up for turn 2.
Oh, contact. But Evil Evo just sticks behind. That's very smart. That would have been a little bit. What would you say? A little bit sketchy if you tried around the outside there at Tiramisu.
Don't worry, I've got the beat button on the go.
Yeah, as they come through, should go now.
I'm just watching, at the moment, Wakey and Honourably Airborne. They're having a bit of a duo down the back straight.
Yeah, they're pretty close at the moment.
We're about 8 minutes in. What we'll probably see is, just going off my testing this week, maybe lap 8 or 9, you're going to start seeing the people on the softs come in. They'll be out of tyre life by then, I should say.
Looking up the front as well, GTP Greatness has a 2.5 second lead, so he's really starting to stretch his legs on those soft tyres and just pull away from Daz, who is still under pressure from Evil Evo, who is going for a move down the inside into NASCAR. Does he get that done? Yes, he does. And that's a good move again from Evil Evo. Daz right on the back of him, so we could see another move up into what's those last few corners called? Corner Capo.
Yeah, you're doing pretty well to try and pass through these double right-handers and a bit of the S's down to the last corner, because it's easy to run off at these speeds, and once you run off it, I mean, you can throw your car out of control pretty easy on the paint and the grass.
Yeah. But I think as well it's probably easiest to just stick behind and then go for the overtake when you go back onto the straight again.
Right, so Carbon Boy's caught up to Honourably Airborne here.
There's 3 of them there. That's going to be a very good battle.
So in this little group, say from 4th through to Dadson in 8th, how many of them are on softs? Or they're all on mediums?
So we got Airborne on mediums, Carbon Boy on softs, Wakey on mediums, Gur on mediums, Dadson on well.
Alright, so Carbon Boy's the only one on softs.
Yeah.
So
it was him and Shinobi that were in there on the softs, but Shinobi's on.
This is where Carbon Boy really needs to take advantage of the softs, so he really should be pulling away from this lot.
Shinobi, looking back, has made up a lot of time. He's right on the back of VF now, so that's very good that he's managed to gain that amount of time in that short of a distance.
Quite a close little pack, this one. So Dadson's just got a little bit of a gap to bum crack, but then they're bumper to bumper.
Yeah, all the way back to 13th now. 8th to 13th, and then we've got that battle pack from 4th to 7th, so...
Jim Bob around the outside.
Does he make it stick? Oh, a bit of contact, but he doesn't quite make the move.
I think Bumcrack just struggling a little bit tonight. Coming off the performance he had last week at Spa, it's definitely not showing tonight as he runs off. He's got the commentator's curse.
And then Jim Bob goes through, up into 9th. Grassies could be looking at a move back onto the straight as well. He's very close behind Bumcrack now.
See what he can
He's
do.
into the pits.
Oh, he's into the pits. So what are we? Lap 6. That's early. This might be a 2-stop here.
Yeah. Could very well be.
Alright, so Greatness now out to 4.2 seconds, so he's really letting the field know that he means business tonight.
Yeah, in a class of his own tonight. That is good. And Evil Evo has taken second place from Daz, so he might be looking to chase down GTP Greatness. Then again, GTP is on the softs, and the ones behind him... Oh, Evil Evo has overtaken Daz when Daz is on the soft tyre. So that's very quick from Evil Evo, so he could be in a chance with tonight's race win if he can keep up this pace.
Yeah, I think about lap 7 to 9, that's why I was saying the softs will probably pit around lap 8 or 9, because from about lap 7 the softs just fall off lap times like you wouldn't believe. Like it'll be slower than probably a medium pace, which you find a bit hard to believe in 9 laps, but the tyres are on time 6, so...
Yeah. Looking back as well to Carbon Boy, he's just bridged a bit of a gap to Wakey there, 1.2 seconds, so he's really going to be trying to push to catch up to Daz and Evil Evo ahead, because he's also running softs, so if he's with Daz, he's in with a pretty good chance, I reckon. He's currently setting 2.5 seconds off, so if he just keeps at it, he can still just chip away at that gap slowly.
Well, 4th is a pretty good spot to be in right now. Give it another 2 or 3 laps, he'll be in, and then it'll be mediums to the end, and he's not far off the front, only 8 seconds. And we have to remember that GTP will probably come off the softs onto the mediums as well.
Yeah, I think those softs are starting to stagnate with that gap with Evil Evo. It's just coming out to around 4.3 seconds at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see by the end of his stint what that gap will be.
So Wakey's coming under a bit of pressure here from Airborne now. Wakey's one of these people that they started off doing super fast lap times, and this is where the mediums and the softs probably come into play, but I think everyone's on mediums here.
Yeah. Gerg just joining that as well. He's also on mediums, so it's going to be close between these three.
Airborne makes the pass. Sorry, wrong one. The Black Merlin cars look pretty good on track too, I would sure say.
Yeah.
Dadson down in 8, so Gillette man, he's made a few spots. Slowly creeping his way to the front. 15 seconds off the lead.
Started in 12th, Dadson, so he's made up 4 positions. That's a very good effort so far.
So's Jim Bob. Jim Bob had that accident on the first lap. He's made his way up to 9th, right behind Dadson, and probably going for an overtake here.
Coming through Curve Alpha, he's just going to stick behind. That's wise, because as you said earlier, making an overtake through here is going to be a bit risky.
He
dives down the inside anyway.
Oh, there's a touch.
Oh.
See straight away, as soon as they start battling, look at the pace from the person behind. They're able to catch up really quick.
Yeah, Scum Crack's right on the back of Jim Bob, so Jim Bob's going to be looking forwards and backwards now. Dadson has 2 cars behind him within slipstream range, so he's going to have to defend this corner unless he's interested in just letting him through.
Jim Bob won't wait for this one. He'll be he's thought about it.
Probably thinking about the long-term strategy, trying to save that fuel and tyres.
Alright, so we'll jump back up the front. So Greatness still at the 4.8 second mark. The
Making some slow progression.
The soft tyres are probably at the end of their tether at the moment. They're probably down to canvas.
Yeah, he's doing alright for tyres. He's got about the same as Daz down in 3rd, so they'll be pitting pretty shortly.
What kind of lap times are we looking at for Greatness and Evil?
Greatness and Evil. Evo's doing about... Well, last lap he did only 2/10 slower, so that's really coming close together. And GTP, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him hit this lap as he's coming through corner capo there.
There's not much. Sorry, I can bring up lap times. I just figured that out. So they're a 56.9 and a 57.1 from Evil. So they're not far apart, but the gap is still growing. I reckon we'll see GTP come in this lap. He might go the extra just to split it up into the full halves.
Yeah, he has gone again. Maybe Daz has come in this lap, or is he going to go around again too? No, he's gone around again as well. So he's probably thinking about GTP greatness now, and is thinking, if I pit when he if I pit when he pits, then we'll be good, and he should be able to make some back up on the medium instead. Hopefully.
Well, here comes Bumcrack. He's got a run on Jim Bob here.
Oh, Gurr's gone wide.
Oh, Dadson's really the cork in the bottle here. So yeah, this is one of the hardest tracks to pass on because you're doing pretty good speed around here on most corners. So once the grip levels are gone in your tyres, there's not much you can do. I mean, you brake a little bit too hard and it just understeers, probably past. Here goes Mr. Bumcrack again. Probably help if I was on him.
This is going to be a nice battle pack just forming here between Dats and Jim Bob and Bumcrack.
It's about the only pack on the track at the moment that are having a bit of a tussle.
Yeah.
The rest seem a little bit split up. I can see last place there. Looks like VF and Shinobi are just having
Right
a bit
on
of a
each
battle.
other, yeah. I think they both just pit too, so
Alright, we might just jump back to Dadson. Looks like Jim Bob's got around. Jim Bob's gone around. Oh no! He's hit the
That
stand
is
on the
bizarre.
outside. Jim Bob. Grab it.
What's
We
happened there?
probably don't need a replay, but we'll do one.
oh, he's just
No.
overcooked it.
Come a long way back by the look of it.
Yeah, he's right down on Jim. Grassy's, and Grassy's has a pit stop in hand as well, so that's really not good. He's got damage too, but that's just repaired itself with the light damage. So
Nah, it's way too
Pitting.
far back for this one.
pitting is Daz and Evil Evo at the same time. So GDP stayed out. Those softs are going to be killing themselves. That is just
Carbon Boy's in.
shredding themselves up.
Carbon Boy's back onto the mediums. This is where it can bring you unstuck. You take these softs too far, and you start you see your lap times just drop off, and then you think, oh, I'll just push that a little bit harder, and then you run off onto the curb, onto the grass, and you've lost 20 seconds, and you think, was that worth it? You should have just pitted a lap before. I've had plenty of experience in the fences.
Yeah.
So Airborne stays out too, so he's on 11 laps. Wakey stayed out for 11.
Yeah, Airborne and Wakey are on those medium tyres, so they've been expected to stay out. But GTP, he's still on those softs. He's gone almost 21 minutes on those soft tyres. He's still got another minute or 40 seconds until he makes it home. His last lap was a 58.5, so he's really dropping off the pace now. You want to see, he's two and a half seconds down coming through that second sector. So, really,
Yeah, it's time to pit. Looks like the car's struggling too.
if he goes around again, I'll be very surprised. Coming through Corsa now.
But I mean, you've got an 11-second lead, or you can afford to probably keep going.
Yeah, as he pulls
But
in.
he's pulled in. So we'll watch Airborne. Airborne will do the same thing, I reckon.
Yeah, he's on the mediums, so... Oh, he does pull in. Wow, so GTP has gone the same distance as the medium tyres, but on the softs. And Dadson pulls in too.
Crack stays out. Wakey stays out, is it? Yes.
And Eagle Evo is on the new tyres, so he obviously stays out. And everyone below Evil Evo is on the new tyres. Except for Bumcrack. Bumcrack still needs to pit.
Probably don't. Probably Bumcrack's probably on a good thing here. He might be able to get another lap or two out and then have a really good stint on the softs coming home. But it could just hurt him.
Oh wow! Coming out of the pits, GTB greatness. His gap. It was about 5 seconds when Evil Evo pulled into the pits. It's now 3.6. So that is a massive undercut. And Evil Evo's also on the fresher tyres, so that's going to be massive.
Tried it. I've just seen that in the chat. Exactly. I even got my own logo made up. That's how many times I stuck in the fence. Alright, Carbon Boy, 5th. I mean, he's only a second off Evil, so he's still in the hunt here. That's a good outing from Carbon Boy.
Only thing is he is severely underfueled. He's got about 25% less fuel than Evil Evo, so he's really going to have to fuel save if he wants to get to the end here. That's assuming that guys around him have hit for just enough. Yeah, he's on half a tank while Evil's on 3/4 of a tank, sitting at about 70%.
Daz down in 6th. Airborne. Oh, skipped one. Airborne in 7th. VF's made a few spots here up into 8th. He was last with Shinobi.
Yeah, he's running a bit low on fuel as well, so could be going. Maybe they're going for the 2-stop. Maybe that's what it is.
Wakey's in, Mr. Bumcrack's in, so there's a good fuel advantage from Bumcrack there over Wakey, 23 litres to 11.
That's massive, 12%.
Now if we jump on to Mr. Bumcrack here, look at the Maggots boys go to work. He's going to put about 92 litres in the tank from our talks in the pits. Told me wrong, he put 72. Oh, I think he went a bit longer than he anticipated. Alright, so GTP Greatness now holds the lead again. He's on his mediums.
2.1. That gap is getting so low. It was 3.6 last time we came through this corner, so Evil Evo was making massive time on GTP now.
And is Evil on the softs now?
Yes, he is, and GTP's
so
on the mediums.
he will bring this gap down real quick. It's going to be the likes of NASCAR that we're coming up to, is where the softs really work their magic. They can turn in a heap tighter, you can get on the gas a heap earlier.
Below 2 seconds now, that gap.
Look who's in 3rd, Carbon Boy into 3rd now, so we've had a problem with who was up there? I'm sure there was someone else in there. Sorry, we had Wakey and Mr. Bumcrack were leading for a stage there, so Carbon Boy's doing really well.
Yeah, Daz was behind Evil Evo, but he's just fallen back a bit behind Carbon Boy, so maybe it was strategy-wise, or maybe he's just finding it a bit hard on those medium tyres. Because, yeah, Carbon Boy and Daz are both on those mediums, so maybe it was a matter of that he didn't put enough practice into the mediums or something, and he's just a little bit short on pace, but it'll be interesting to see what he can make back up on Carbon Boy by the end of the stint, because that gap is 1.5 seconds already, so big gap to already, even though he's only just come out of the pits there.
VF up to 6th, so he's made some big spots in the pits.
He's very low on fuel though, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's going for the 2-stop, but he's only got about 30% fuel, while everybody else has got about half a tank already,
So Evil's already put in the 54.8 lap time, so he's cracking on the softs.
Wow, that is quick.
It's down to 1.1. It's nearly under the second now. We know once he gets about that 7.7 range, that's the slipstream territory, so he's got no chance after that. GTP.
Yeah, and looking back, there's a 4.5 second gap to Carbon Boy in 3rd, so these two, GTP and Evil Evo, are in a class of their own at the moment. under a second now, that gap. It just keeps getting lower and lower as they come through lap by lap.
What kind of fuel have we got on GTP and Evil?
They've got about the same. Evil Evo has about 5% more, so...
So that's a pretty handy spot to be in. 5% isn't much, but it could just be enough.
They have
make
about
the difference.
half a tank each, so...
Just see GTP now, the mediums are just so different to drive than the softs. He's probably struggling a little bit to come to terms with it. And it doesn't even need to be a slipstream here. I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, he's gained half a second already. Oh, as he goes wide. But he's already gained... Oh, he's lost a few tenths there.
Look at the grip from the softs. So much grip. Down the inside, sets himself up for turn 2.
And Evil Evo is right on the back of GTP here. Very, very close. He might go for a move down into Castellini Grande. Sizing up the move. He's within 3 tenths, so very close behind, but not quite close enough to go for the move there. I think also Carbon Boy underfueled the car a little bit, so he's just falling back from the guys in front because he hasn't, like, his fuel is back on par almost, so he's obviously going for that fuel safe and to get in front of Daz in the first place, and now he just has to hope that he can save enough and defend enough to get to the end.
We're just in car with GTP. He's got the slipstream. Looks like he's going to go for a move here. He pulls out.
Oh, Evil Evo's made that move. He's in front of him now.
Yep, that happened a couple of laps ago, a couple of corners ago. I think it was about turn 2 or 3 made that happen.
Yeah, GTP right on the back of him now. He's going to go for this. Is there contact? Oh, he gets through a clean lead, but he's very wide. Yeah, I thought he came in with a bit too much speed there, but Evil Evo is pretty much gone now after that mistake.
You see it from the outside view here. You see GTP just can't pull the car up. Gets the slipstream, pulls to the inside. Hard on the brakes, but it just pulls straight through. No touching. I don't think there's a touch there.
Evil Evo's out of slipstream range as well now, so yeah. I think that's game over for GTP unless Evil makes a mistake. 10 minutes remaining.
Yeah, maybe with the softs fall off their edge, the mediums might come back into work if they can stay in contention, but we've only got 10 minutes left, so the softs have got a pretty good lifespan on them for about the next 5 or so laps.
Carbon Boy with an absolutely awesome fuel save. He was down 20% and now he's only down about 7% now, so good job from him.
I can just see Daz and Airborne going 1-2 at it.
Oh, Daz wide through Castellini Grande.
See if we can catch that too. Why not? So Airborne looks like he just moves to the inside. Daz just touches the grass. There's not much you can do there. There's no control of the car through there at all up here on the grass. So that's opened the gap up, but it's given Honourably Airborne a little bit of a sniff here at Carbon Boy. There's nothing in it. It's almost in slipstream territory again. Carbon Boy will just want to hold on to that 3rd place. He's probably got about another 4 laps to go. Oh, as he runs wide, he nearly hit the barrier. You can see the pressure starting to mount.
Looking down as well to Dadson, Bumcrack and Shinobi. They're very close at the moment. Dadson was just in 11th. He's made up 2 positions on these guys.
Oh, Airborne's going for the inside on the last corner. Probably wrecked his chances at the slipstream here, maybe.
He's still within 2 tenths, so I wouldn't discount him making a move here.
No, he's going for it. Carbon Boy leaves the room.
Gets it. Carbon Boy got the inside line. Holds his line, and Airborne looking to go down the inside again through Ariette. just pulls out. That's probably the wise choice through there. You wouldn't want to go side by side through there. And he's going to have the slipstream again, coming down the straight to Castellini Grande. He dives down the inside, very narrow. And is Carbon Boy going to get the switchback? No. Honorably Airborne just parks it on the apex there, so good defense by him to hold the position.
Alright, a little bit of a run through the grid while we're 7 minutes out from the finish. So Evil now is out to a 1.9 second lead out of that slipstream, which has allowed Greatness just to fall back, who's in second. Then 6 seconds down the road we have Honourably Airborne, who's just got past Carbon Boy in fourth. Which is though that's not finished yet either. Fifth,
They're going to keep fighting at that till the end.
fifth we got Daz. Gurr in sixth. Wakey down in seventh. Bit of a lonely race for Wakey tonight. He just touches the sand there, but he's held onto it. Mr. Bumcrack, this is the race he didn't want to have tonight. He's been practicing all week. And a few unfortunate errors, I guess, there has been. Dadson in ninth. Shinobi's made his way to 10th from what he was down in the last position at one stage. Jim Bob now down in 11th, so I don't know what's happened to Jim Bob. He was right up there. BF in 12th. And Grasses as well, so maybe they just can't do the... they're probably all on softs now, aren't they?
Yeah, I think Grasses is trying to do the two-stop because he has fresh tyres. Yeah, he pit on lap 14, so I think he's tried the two-stop, and at this rate, I don't think it's paid off at all for him.
No, well, he's still 8 seconds behind VF, so that definitely hasn't worked for him.
Yeah, with only 5 minutes left, I don't think he's going to make anything up. That's a lot of time to bring back in just how many laps? We've probably got about
3 laps, I'd say.
Yeah, 3 laps left. But he is making that back. He's already gained a second since we've been talking about him, so you never know, it could happen.
I'll keep an eye on that. I can see 2 cars together close there, down in 3rd and 4th, so it's Airborne and Carbon Boy. Carbon Boy's not letting him get away with this.
Yeah, Carbon Boy's still a little bit low on fuel, so he's still not going to be able to push that for that position just yet.
54.5 now from Mr. Bumcrack, fastest lap.
Yeah, that was set on lap 14, just after his pit stop, so very quick from Bumcrack there. 54.5 on race pace. Wow, that is quick.
His last lap was a 55.8, so they're not far off the pace.
Yeah.
He's got Wakey in front of him, who is in 7th, and his last lap time will be
Exact same.
55.8 too, so they're running similar lap times.
Looking back as well for Wakey, they are very consistent times, virtually the same time 2 laps in a row.
And then we go back to Dadson in 9th. His last lap time is a 56.8, so he's struggling a little bit at the back end of the field. Just dropped off a second.
Bumcrack, Dadson and Shinobi were right up against each other about 2 laps ago, so that's sort of settled out now because Shinobi, being on the mediums, was probably in front of both of them, and then Dadson hasn't had the people fighting ahead of him to just catch back up and take the position, so it's sort of just settled itself down, and Bumcrack's caught up ahead to Wakey as he's right on the back of him now, 2 tenths behind, and he's got the run down into Castellini Grande. He might go for the move here.
I don't know if you're going to get it around the outside.
Yeah, I think that's the one corner that you can't go around the outside on this track. It's just so open, so the car in front can just park it on the apex and then just zoom away before you can really get around them. Still going to be sticking with him though, because he's got the back straight down into NASCAR still.
Let's see what the slipstream does. We're on board with Bumcrack. Looks like the slipstream's already in effect. He's going to make this look easy. Wakey pulls to the inside defensively, but I think Bumcrack will have the run here around the outside. Gives Gives it back to him. Being gentle.
Oh, he just clips the gravel there, but it's still on the track, so that's good.
Oh, here we go, another run. Looks as though Wakey's starting to drive a bit defensively here. You can see Bumcrack's putting the pressure on.
Yeah, Bumcrack's tyres are in a bit better condition than Wakey's, so he's going to be able to put the pressure on there.
Doesn't sound right when you say Bumcrack's putting the pressure on, does it?
He's going to have the run into Tiramisu again.
Yeah, I think this is going to be where the move will happen.
Yeah, he's 2 more laps left for these two, and he's diving down the inside. Is he gonna? Oh, he's. Wakey just holds onto that position. Goes for the switchback. Oh, if he makes this is a good move. But Wakey's got the inside line for Ariette again. Coming through Checo down to the run, before the run to Castellini Grande. He's right on the back of him on his back bumper. He's gonna make this move. He's just gonna fly past him around the outside. This is gonna be a tough move to make. Yeah, and he slips back in behind. He goes for the switchback. And he is alongside, so they're going to be side by side through the Essa del Lago. Sorry about my pronunciation.
Yeah, I don't know. The switchback just doesn't seem to be working at the moment because you get there's too many left, right corners, so you get one way good, and the other way gets you back. Really need that slipstream and just force the move, I think.
Some great defense by Wakey though to keep Bumcrack behind.
Just going to jump up ahead of him into 60 because it looks as though Carbon Boy is now starting to get hounded from Gurr.
Oh,
straight around.
Low Daz as well.
I think Carbon Boy might be hurting on fuel numbers here.
Yeah. Carbon Boy's on the light as well as a lot of people are on the light actually. But there's 1 lap to go still, so he was in 3rd a few laps ago and now he's in 6th, so that's really not what he wanted to happen. He got the track position, but then he just had to save so much that he wasn't able to hold on to that. Unfortunate for him.
Well, Evil, he's going to get maximum points tonight. He's not going to get the pole 2 points, but or the fastest lap, I should say, because Mr. Bumcrack has it at the moment. Pole 2 points will go to GTP, but tell you what, he's come out flying. GTP was the one to watch at the beginning of the race, and the strategy has definitely worked in the favour of Evil here. He's led a lot of laps in the second half of the race, and he's on his way to taking out the win.
Yeah, he had a brilliant drive. He just had awesome pace on those medium tyres, and he was just able to carry that car and keep it in the range where he was able to get that back after the pit stop when he was on the soft tyres, and that's worked massively in his favour. Just sitting in first, about 4 seconds ahead of GTP greatness.
See, he's already flashing the lights. He knows he's got it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be pushing at this point. I'd just be trying to cradle the car home.
Yeah, there's nothing right now that GTP can do.
Yeah, he's sort of sitting in no man's land. 5 seconds to the car ahead, and then 7 seconds to the car behind. So,
just gonna jump back.
Airborne and Daz now. These guys are very close together.
Keep an eye on that, but we'll jump back up to Evil because he's about to finish. 21 laps.
Coming through Corsa for the final time.
Flashing the lights. Drive. He's made it look pretty easy. Takes the win. GTP, one that we expected for the win tonight. He still a really good drive. Second's nothing to sneeze at, but just couldn't quite get there. Honourably Airborne gets past Daz. Then we got Gurr, who's getting followed here by Carbon Boy, who's now dropped back to 6th. So Gurr will get that. Wakey just holds out. Bumcrack
battle, yeah.
That's going to get 9th. Shinobi 10th. So Shinobi was down the back end for most of the race, and then we've got a drag race to the finish. Jim Bob just gets there for VF. Grassies is already done. So that is the race.
was a pretty good race.
That was good. That's going to be some really good points for Team Lightning Motorsport. And then we can see the cars going everywhere, so there's still a glitch happening. So bad luck to King Oscar tonight. He couldn't get in the room. Hopefully we can get him into a spot next week. So we'll do a run through just the list again. Where's my controller? Alright, so as you can see, Evil gets first, GTP second, Honourably Airborne brings home the podium in third, fourth will be Daz, Gurr 17 for fifth, Carbon Boy, really good race from Carbon Boy, probably underfilled a little bit which hindered him in the last part, but he was up in third spot for the while there. He comes home in sixth, Wakey in seventh, Mr. Bumcrack in eighth, Dadson in ninth, Shinobi in 10th, Jim Bob in 11th, VF in 12th, and Grassy's in 13th, with Mr. Bumcrack getting the fastest lap on lap 14 with a 54.5. So there you have it.
Pretty good race for everyone.
Chuck in some driver of the days if you can. I'd probably give my driver of the day to, I've got to give it to Evil. Like, he's started on the third roll, I believe, tonight, and he's just put a solid effort in. Did not think he could do it, and then just as soon as the pit stops coming, he put on the soft tyres, and he was able to drive around GTP and not get too far away, but enough to probably rest himself for the last couple of laps.
Yeah, I'd probably give mine to Honourably Airborne. He's made up 3 positions. He started in 6th and he's made his way onto the podium. Either Honourably Airborne or Evil Evo, because they were both really good drives. Just played to the strategy and just got the job done for the double podium.
Alright, I'm just going to jump over to the other room. Thanks very much there for jumping in comms tonight. Then race directing there, Lenosis, done a really good job.
Yeah, no worries.
You're welcome to come over to the next room, but your job here is done.
I think I'm just going to go grab something to eat and then I might just stay in the lobby, like in the party or whatever, and then go grab something to eat and yeah.
No worries, thank you.
Alright, see ya.
We'll bring D-Flow back in when he's ready. I'm just having a bit of a loading screen problem going on behind the scenes. It's taking a while.
No dramas at all. We've just got a few drivers prepping themselves for the very last second. Once they're all good to go and you're in the lobby, we'll get qualifying underway for the Next Level Racing Supercup. And we've got some very, very quick times being posted by some of the drivers so far. In some of the practice sessions that we had earlier, we had people like Brocky doing a 1 minute 53.7. So it's I'd say what some of these drivers are going to have their work cut out for them tonight.
Yeah, I've been listening in the RER chat as well, and dare say TX3 will pull out some good numbers as well from what I'm hearing, and probably a few of the other blokes, because he's not the only fast guy. All right, I'm in.
All right, shall we start?
Let's get into it.
Yep, no worries. I'll just give them a quick heads up. Don't want them to be caught unaware. Everyone's on the track, thankfully. So, all right, let's get this underway. 10 minutes of qualifying.
All right, here we go. We are on the next level now. Oops, wrong screen. Okay, so we've got Corgi starting on softs. That's different.
Yeah.
And it looks about the only one at this stage.
And Lucky as well, starting on softs. So they're the only two on the alternative strategy, if you like. Everyone else is starting on mediums.
Okay, so Captain Muffin, we actually got the right the right one out on the screen. We've also got Corey Hack. So Corey Hack's in tonight with the big boys. So we've seen him drive really well last week at Spa. Let's see what he can do tonight here at Maggiore.
Absolutely, he certainly cut his teeth last week, as you said at Spa. He was battling with yourself too. Certainly has what it takes to battle with these Group A folks, so might ruffle the feathers of some of these.
Alright, we'll do a quick run through the field here. So we have Captain Muffin in the Alliance Civil for Team 53. Brocky will be second in the Bez Media for CB Motorsports. Diego for Aussie Hampton. Speedy Tyres will be down there in fourth position.
We've got Corgi behind him in 5th, Kiwi Raikkonen in 6th. He's running for the Datsun Racing team. We have Corey Hack, as we mentioned before, for the Green Beacon Red Mist Racing outfit in 6th. There's a bit of shuffling going on behind. We've got Karen for the Deeds Racing outfit in 8th. Lucky's behind him in the Melbourne Polytechnic Lucky's Lawn Care Racing Porsche. We have Old Wakey in the Aussie Hampton, the lovely looking Aussie Hampton Porsche. Stickers in 11th for Lightning Motorsport. Artie Thump in 12th. S1 Davey in 13th, and your driver TX3 in 14th.
Oh, he's on the fuel burn.
Well, Brock is the first one to come in. He's changing those mediums for a fresh set of softs. Muffin follows him in, along with Corey Hack.
Okay, so
First of the flyers seems to be Diego, who's still on the mediums.
oh, Filthy saying Muffin won in the GT Champions this morning too, I think. So did Nux probably.
Oh,
Corey,
give him a shout out.
Corey Hack got a P3 or 2. So we've got a few fast bikes in here, basically, Filthy is saying.
Yeah, definitely. Getting a bit fast for me, I think, as well.
So Diego's really stepped his game up lately. He got around Brocky at Spa on the softs. Brocky was on the mediums, but still got around Brocky. That's an achievement in itself.
Got Corgi
Corgi
so
right
far.
behind him. So Corgi was super quick at Spa as well. And he's going to get the tow here from Diego, which is not going to help anyone's cause. Diego pulls out of the way. He doesn't want to help him.
So far, his sector split seems to be very, very good. Obviously, it's the first lap, and the game is showing us as purple. Where we're looking at some of the sector splits from the practice sessions earlier, he does seem to have a very quick car underneath him at the moment.
I reckon we should get some podiums up on the chat, because this is going to be one hell of a race, I reckon.
Absolutely, this track always produces some really good racing, so I'm looking forward to this one, definitely.
I do remember one of the races we were here a season or two, maybe last season or the season before. The goat had a mishap on the start-finish line, he hit the pit wall or something, and there was a bit of an incident on the last lap. So let's.
Yes, that may have been season 3 when we were running the BMWs, if I remember correctly. Well,
Right.
Diego's coming in.
What's call you got? 53.8 on his first lap. Disgusting. Lucky.
54.8.
4.8, so he's a second quicker. Old Wakey in third. Takes a 55.7.
Rocky's on his outlap, starting his first flyer. So is Muffin and Corey. The next one behind them is Artie Thump. Oh, he's on his outlap as well.
Yeah, I think Brocky's on a bit of the mend here. He's sniffed maybe a little bit of the winning streak, not the winning streak, but the cats and the front runners from Spa. He had a really good race there. He'd probably want to extend that.
Yeah, he certainly has. He had the carrot, as you alluded to, he had the carrot dangled in front of him 2 weeks ago, so I'm pretty sure he'll be fired up to make sure that he can actually get on the top step this time around.
On board with Corey Hack, the red Mist Racing Green Beacon cars looking pretty bright out on track tonight. It's red for sure.
Certainly is. He's I've just gone blank. He's set a 32.1 in his first sector, which is actually a couple tenths down on Brocky, who's just gone purple in sector 2. currently seems to be 2/10 up on Corgi's lap time thus far, so we could be seeing potentially a mid-53 from Brocky.
Alright, Morgan Davies down in 10th. We know he can set a fast lap time when he wants to. I'm just going to go back to stickers as well. Behind here, he's got himself his own livery tonight, and it looks pretty darn good.
Certainly does.
And he makes his own too, so he's got no one to blame but himself if it's not that good.
So when he scratches or has a prank, does he send the bill to himself?
Yeah, he'd have to. Alright, Kiwis down in 12th, so we're going to start seeing some lap times.
Rocky's just coming around the start-finish line now, and wow, a 53.3. That is 4/10, nearly half a second quicker than Corgi.
Yeah, that's crazy. Especially when you've got the likes of still 70% fuel in your car.
Correct. He's only got, my apologies, yeah, not necessarily only got, he's just burned through a quarter of the tank, so that's very decent. He's probably got enough time to even go in the pits and grab another set of fresh tyres too. So
but look at this.
Probably drop down.
Davies in the second. He's pulled off a blistering lap as well with a 53.7. Enough to take Corgi. Corey Hack up into 4th, so he's setting his dominance early.
Great start to his Group A debut. Apologies, I've just stepped over you there.
Stickers into 5th. Good outing for Stickers so far. Artie Thump into 6th. Artie's been putting in some really good qualifying times from even at Spa.
Yeah, he certainly has. He's just been chipping away at it bit by bit. He's been flying under the radar. That's probably a bit of a disservice to him, but he's just been at it, just chipping away constantly, and results, proof is in the pudding, as they say. Results have shown that he's definitely capable of fighting with these Group A boys. Just having a bit of a look. My apologies, you go.
I was just going to say Captain Muffin down in 7th still. He's, what have we got him at? A 154.4, so he's not quite there yet. He must still be waiting to put in a good lap. As we put him into the wall, it's the commentator's curse already.
Yeah, he's got a half a second penalty. I'd say he'd be pitting. Oh, he might not have enough time actually. He might have to just burn this penalty and hope for another flying lap. Whether that'll be enough though.
Old Wakey down in 9th. Call up for tonight. Was a Group B, and then I believe yourself had to step out tonight, D-Flow, to race direct, so Old Wakey might have taken that spot.
That's correct, yes. So he stepped in for me tonight. I've, yeah, as you alluded to before, I've had to race direct. So kudos to him for stepping up to the challenge. Not, I don't think he set a representative lap time thus far, but even still, to be where he is at the moment, that's still an effort. It's still something to be proud of. Looks like we've got the last flying lap from some of these drivers. Rocky's the first to come through. He's 0.38 of a second down already at the first sector, so it might be too far gone for him on this flying lap.
I'm just on with Corgi, and he's got TX3 in tow as Karen sets a 54.5.
Still a very competitive lap.
This looks like a little bit of the Kiwi Raikkonen and Corgi entry from last week. They're in tow for going to be a blistering lap. He's 0.1 down. Looks as though TX3 might be stuck behind here.
Yeah, he's glued to the rear bumper, isn't he? This particular section's not somewhere you'd really want to be blindsided, I suppose, by all the apexes. It's so easy to run wide or grab a fraction more of that curve than you need to and end up with a penalty. But it seems to be that they've gotten through that relatively cleanly. There we go, TX3 is giving him a bit of a bump draft now along the back straight.
Yeah, I don't think there's much you can do. Both of them have some serious pace about them, so if you go for an overtake in qualifying, it could just slow you up.
That's right, absolutely. It seems to be the way if you're not careful. But with that being said, Morgan Davies just set a sector best in the third sector, so he might have something up his sleeve towards the end of this qualifying session.
Rocky's done. He didn't go any better. Just jump back up to Corgi. Where are they? They're coming around.
Speedy and Corey, well, just Corey and Speedy don't improve. Diego does improve to a 54.5 though.
Oh, Diego pulls into the pits. Alright, what have Corgi got? He's going to have TX3 as well. TX3 to the top. TX3 takes
Wow.
pole. 53-2.
Wow.
I tell you what, he'll be
Wow.
glad he had Corgi in front of him then.
Oh, I think you'd be, yeah, you'd be certainly thanking him for that one later on. That's for sure. That's definitely helped him.
So that puts Davies into 4th, Coriac into 5th. Still a good start for Corey Hack. I mean, there's some serious front runners. There's probably no faster in Sector 1 for the 4 in front.
That's right, absolutely. That's incredibly close.
5 in
That
front,
is less than half a second between the top 4 drivers. That's incredible. Okay, so I'm just going to remind these drivers that we're red flag in this session. I'll manually set the grid, and then we'll hop into the race.
All right, so as you can see, this is stepping up to be a wicked race. So I think you should put some podiums up in the chat because this is going to go off. It's either going to be win-win for someone or it's going to end in tears.
Yeah, it's usually the way. Well, I guess there's only one winner always. Alright, so while these drivers sort themselves out, try and get this grid sorted as well. But yeah, no, that was definitely a massive clutch lap there from TX3. Admittedly, it did help. With it, I'm sure the draft would have definitely helped him from Corgi, but yeah, hats off to him for it. That was a decent lap.
You know what I didn't use in the first race, and I know I should because Filthy went to the trouble of making all these, was the track map. But
yes.
I'll bring it up. As you know, we're at round 5 at Lake Maggiore. So we've got a 5.8 kilometres, there's 17 corners. We are racing at the time of day of a 6:15. We've just done our, well, there's supposed to be 8-minute qualifying, I believe. Is that right? 10?
10 minutes, if I've got it right.
All right, 10-minute qualifying. It says 10-minute on the screen. And 40-minute race. So, as we will see from the first race, it does come down to, yeah, we've just seen that. It's last minute Kiwi got into 4th there, so just ahead of Corey Hack. So they're all on the money, them top 5.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, interestingly, I've forgotten already who it was. I believe it was Corey and Lucky were the only 2 to start on softs as well. So I'd hope for Corey's sake that he can be able to maximise that opportunity and use that to his advantage to then use those softs, use the pace of that soft tyre to get away from everyone else, build up a bit of a gap, and hope that it's enough to offset the disadvantage of running the soft. Oh, sorry, my apologies, the medium tyre at the end.
So what I was about to say was, as we've seen in the first race, the strategy really played a big part. We know GTP was quick in the first race, but the strategy starting off on the softs just didn't work.
Correct.
Really hindered him at the end of the race, and Evil was able to get around him. So probably going to be more of the same of that in this race.
That's right. Yeah, certainly seems to be the way, but you never know. These drivers always find another 10th or 2 here and there and extract the best out of these cars. So anything's possible.
All right. So while we're waiting to set the grid, just going to don't know what I was going to do there, but it didn't happen anyway, so.
Apologies, it seems that these grid orders just sort of jumbled up. I'm just going to double check and confirm. I don't want to have someone starting at the back if hypothetically they're up in pole.
So starting off the race, it's going to be TX3 on pole. He already grabs 2 points for that, which is good.
That's right. Yes, that's very crucial for the championship. That brings him at the moment currently 1 point away from Corgi at the top of the standings. So that'll certainly help his championship hopes.
Yeah, there's nothing in the top 2 drivers in the Supercup Group A. It's coming down to the wire too. What do we got? Like 3 rounds left after this.
That's right. After this, we've got 3 rounds left. So, all right, if you're ready, let's get this race underway.
Ready when you are.
All right, let's do it.
Probably should Jump into spectator mode. Okay, so we have Corgi. He really needs to. He's about the only one starting on the softs from what I can see. He really needs to make all this work. And Corey Hack, I think you said too, wasn't it?
Lucky was definitely another one. I've forgotten. I'm pretty sure it was definitely two. Corgi. My apologies. Corgi and Lucky were definitely two of them. I can't remember for Corey Hack though.
So what do the front runners need to do? It's TX3 and Brocky. Hang on, better put that on the screen. Sorry, we're there. Go with fourth. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we're racing. All Brocky gets a bit of tyre spin. It looks as though TX3's got the start that he needed. Pulls over in front.
Oh, dive from Brocky. He's covered Corgi. Well, that could have been a bit messy. TX3's just bolted though. Look, that he's already gotten 7 cents out from him on the approach into the blind corner. So that's, wow. He's just taken that a ram. But with that being said, Brocky's just trying to keep up with him.
Yeah. Brocky definitely knows what needs to be done in Sector 1 racing. He's a bit of a fuel save whiz and tyre save whiz, so a spot here or there is not going to hurt him too bad.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. So,
Right, so currently TX3 is just out of the slipstream if he can stay this way, but he does have Corgi behind him, so Corgi's on the softs.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. So he really needs to catch up to TX3 here and basically run away with it. Got back at P11 and 12. Sorry, P10 and P11. Lucky and Diego are going side by side into NASCAR. Or Karen decides to stick nose in there as well. Tries to make the most of that. Diego runs wide. Well, that could have ended really badly.
3 wide just ahead, 2 looked about it with Corey Hack and Stickers.
Oh, Stickers runs wide.
It's not the start Corey Hack probably wanted to be stuck up in the traffic like he is. Especially when he started in 5th, so he's had a bit of a drama.
Yeah, he's just run wide as well. Oh, he's nearly lost it. Bit of a tank slapper. Nearly smacked into Diego coming out. My goodness, he's down to 12th at the end of this first lap. That's a big disaster for him.
Jump back up the front. We've got Corgi going to the inside. He's going to get that move done pretty easy. I tell you what, TX3 can just make their mediums grip.
Yeah, he certainly can. That's part of the art, I suppose. If he can really maximise the tyre pace out of these things, that sounds really wrong, but yeah, if he can maximise the tyre life out of these mediums, tyre performance, I should say, not tyre life, it'll pay dividends, obviously, in the second stint or potentially third stint if he 2 stops. It'll pay dividends for him in the back half of this race.
Just see the tyre difference right there. Corgi gets to exit so well as TX3 is sliding into the corner to try and keep up.
That's right, lots of rear locking. That if he's not, well, it might be his driving preference, I suppose, but if he's not careful, that'll send him an invoice towards the end of this stint. His rear tyres will be shot to pieces if he's not careful. Davey and Brocky back there in 3rd and 4th. David looks like he might go for the overtake into NASCAR as well. See if these boys can keep it clean, which they have from the looks of it. Oh, nice.
Morgan gets the move done, although Brocky looks like he might have a better exit.
Yeah, he's got a bit of overlap here. Will they go side by side, or will one of them back off? Doesn't seem like the way, though. Oh, Brocky's just getting cleaned up. Look at Kiwi, though. He's going to make the most of this. Two for one. Look at this. Right on the inside. Brocky's the biggest loser out of this.
Morgan won't give up too easy, though. He loves to get around Brocky, so he's going to want to stay there.
Oh no. Wide.
He'll get a penalty for that for sure.
Kiwi's probably just rubbing his hands together saying thank you very much. That's 2 for 1.
He might have got away with that, Morgan.
He certainly has. Rocky's just got on the over and under, I should say. But they won't be giving up anytime soon.
Well, Rocky takes another move on Davey. Definitely a standout car, these pink deeds.
They They sure are.
Look at Artie Thump, working his way up to Davey here. 6th position. Artie Thump's been on the move lately.
Yeah, he certainly has. And credit to him and the team at CJ Esports. They've certainly done a good job so far this season. Certainly within striking distance of Davey and Brocky should they fight out a bit more. So watch out.
Then Lucky, another good drive from Lucky.
Absolutely.
Staying in Group A is hard enough in itself, and he's been doing it all season.
Yeah, he's a bit like Artie Thump in the sense that he's just been a bit quiet about it and just chipped away. You know, just put his head down and got on with it. Managed to keep himself into Group A.
And then we've got Stickers. Stickers is definitely one that has improved this season. If you go into a practice session with Stickers, he's definitely dropping the times you'd expect from a Group A driver now.
Yeah, he certainly has. So he was one of the debutants in the Next Level Racing Supercup this season. Oh, Speedy Tyres just runs wide out of the exit onto NASCAR. But yeah, he's certainly done a good job so far this season.
Already hacked down in 11th. This is not the Group A entrance he wanted. He's coming out with a flying lap for qualifying, and he's just couldn't put the race together yet. Maybe he's just not happy on the mediums.
Yeah, it could be the way. So his first flying lap was a 57.4. So if I compare that even to Captain Muffin directly behind him, there was just Captain Muffin was 7/10 quicker, just on that lap, irrespective of, admittedly, that doesn't count the first lap. But yeah, it just seems to be struggling a bit.
Also, Diego, another one of the fast flyers, and he's right down the end of the field here. This is not the place they want to be.
Correct.
Or
He's
would
currently
expect it
6th.
to be. Sorry.
That's right. He's currently 6th in the championship at the moment as well. So, yeah, I don't think that's where he wants to be either.
And Old Wakey to call up for tonight, so it's the second of the Aussie Hampton cars. Definitely, Old Wakey is no slouch, so he's just hanging on here, but he'll go all right.
Definitely. My goodness. Back up the front, Corgi, my apologies, not Corey. Corgi has just under a 3-second gap over TX3, so really trying to make the most of those soft tyres and the pace advantage that they offer at this time of the race.
Yeah, it's what are we? Not even 7 minutes in yet. We're just touching on 7 minutes in, and there's a 3-second lead, so it's looking pretty good for Corgi. But this is what hasn't worked out for the drivers in the other groups, is starting on the softs. So as long as TX3 is within distance, you can just see a pack there down in 5th, which looks like Brocky, Artie, Thump, and Davey. They're still going at it. It's bringing Lucky into the mix. Sorry.
That's right. This will be going on for the next 30 minutes, I think, the way it's going to go.
And I can tell you right now, Brocky won't want this. He would have wanted clean air, try and stick with TX3 and Corgi. I mean, he's not far off, but Kiwi Raikkonen's been able to get past and just make that gap a little bit.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. And in fairness, I'm sure Davey would love some clean air too, but equally he loves these types of door-bagging, side-by-side type of battles anyway, so I'm sure he'll be grinning ear to ear anyway. Oh, Brocky with the aggressive block there. Oh, is he going to leave him enough room?
Oh, Davey pushes Brocky wide. That's not a good start.
Oh, Brocky's just gone. He's in the wall too. Oh, no. That's actually going to put him just behind... Oh, well, that's just put him out in front of Old Wakey back in 14th.
So maybe just a little bit too deep here from Morgan, maybe. Just couldn't turn the corner.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way. Have to look at it on the replay. If Gran Turismo lets us.
Just did the replay there, so it doesn't look as though Morgan has redressed it all.
Just while we were looking at that replay there, I was on board with Corgi, and he was very, very sideways in the Lago S's in Sector 2 there. He's just lost half a second in that sector alone. So these softs might be starting to drop off a bit now, and their mediums there might be a bit of an overlap with these lap times now, and the mediums might just start to come back into play now for TX3.
So we'll take a look at 54.4 last lap time from Corgi. A That's still pretty quick. But
Oh, that is still very quick, yeah. And at the moment, TX3 looks like he's going to be set for a 55.2. So there still might be a bit of a pace advantage for these softs, but it won't be long before we start seeing a much more aggressive drop-off, and the crossover will start to happen between these tyres.
I'm also seeing maybe Kiwi Raikkonen there. Maybe just has a little bit of an advantage over TX3 at the moment. Just the time's coming down that a little bit. Now we might do a bit of a tyre update for the first, say, we'll go first 4 if we can, just because
Yes, no
Davy's
worries.
in there.
Yeah, so obviously we've got FSR Corgi in first position on the racing soft tyres. Now naturally there is more wear than TX3 on the mediums, but you're looking at about double the wear percentage for between Corgi and TX3. You've probably got about 20% all round for Corgi and 10% wear for TX3. Fuel levels are more or less the same, a fraction more for TX3. Going back to Kiwi Raikkonen, he's actually used a bit more of the car, or more of the tyres compared to TX3, but fuel levels are relatively the same. Going back to Morgan, who after all the tussling with Rocky, Lucky and Artie, he's actually used the least amount of his tyres compared to everyone else around him, but he's used at least another 10% fuel compared to those around him, especially those up front. Compared to Lucky, who is behind, obviously on the racing softs, and he's got about 2/3 of a tank.
So Davey, he's had the boot sunken into the floor.
Certainly has.
He's maybe got an extra injector on the course just so he can try and get back up to the front. But look at Lucky. Lucky's going for an overtake on Davey.
He's stuck the nose in. There we go. He's got it. Well, he needs to make the most of these racing softs, so I think he really had to.
I'd say maybe Davey, even though his car might not look that bad, he's maybe struggling a little bit.
It could be, yeah,
Or
that's very true.
Lucky's really stepping his game up because here comes Davies again.
Oh. Okay, so maybe Dave. Oh, rears of lock. That's put Lucky right on the outside.
Good drive from Lucky.
Definitely.
I know we're
He's
only
doing well.
12 minutes into the race, but I mean, if you're up the front, you're battling with people like Morgan, you've got some good speed happening for the race day.
That's correct, exactly. And from the way that these two are fighting, they've shown their intention that they're not willing to work with each other. They're going to go hammer and tong to make sure whoever it is will be out front. And that's actually all this fighting's brought Artie and Karen. Well, Artie is only half a second behind Lucky. Karen is another 1.6 behind Artie. So the way they're going, Karen's going to join this pack very soon as well. Going to be a deed sandwich essentially.
We've also got speedy tyres that was able to get around stickers.
That's correct. So they're in that little battle pack as well. It seems to be very tight up the back end. Interestingly, Brocky... Sorry, my apologies, you go.
I was just going to say we've got Corey Hack still in 10th, so Corey Hack is definitely struggling on the mediums.
Yeah, he certainly is. So his last few laps have been way slower than those around him, also on the same tyre. So it could just be that potentially these mediums just aren't working for him.
Well, you
He
see,
gets sideways into the Lago S's there.
that's the curb there. The curb will pull the back end of the car around.
That's correct, exactly. Just going to make a mention before that, Brock is still back in 14th, interestingly. So he's had a really, really poor... Obviously, we know that lap 5, the incident with Morgan, but lap 6 was a 157 dead. So he's... I'm not sure if he's trying to play the long game, which, knowing him, I'm sure he would be. He's not... He's not the 6th time for nothing, so I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
He's definitely given Captain Muffin a bit of a bump draft.
Yeah, certainly is. Interestingly, he's got about an extra 10% fuel compared to those up front, so that's Corey, TX3 and Kiwi. So it may not be, well, certainly won't be enough to pull back 20 seconds, but it might be enough to at least jump Muffin and Wakey that are ahead of him on the road.
Filthy reckons it's the new livery that's gotten Lucky faster.
Yeah, must be. So
Lucky's in the pits.
Oh, so he's going for the 2-stopper there?
Tell you what, this definitely didn't work in the first race.
No. So we got Muffin and Brocky at the back end of the field, who have also pitted too. They've got 56 and 58% fuel respectively.
He doesn't put any fuel in either.
No, so they'll be running a dry for the second stint. So Lucky's out on the racing medium, so he'll be running that to the smell of an oily rag, as they say, and then they'll be changing for a fresh set of boots. Muffin's out on softs along with Brocky. Brocky seems to have filled up though, so he might be
Doing the
going
long
for a
haul.
bit of an undercut.
But this could be good for Lucky. I mean, battling with Davey, this might just put him into some clean air, what he wants.
That's right, exactly. So, best time to get your head down, get on with it. You got Nolan or Andrew.
I tell you what, that gap has not really extended over TX3 right now.
No, it's he's showing some decent wear on those racing softs, this Corgi. So he's got about 33 to 40%, about a third to 40% wear on those tyres. Yeah, I'd say they're starting to hurt. So his last lap was a 55.3 compared to TX3 on a 55.6. So there's only 0.3 of a second difference. I'd say that he's going to be starting to hurt now.
And also, Kiwi Räikkönen has fallen off the back of TX3. It was down to just into the ones, I think, maybe 1.9 or on the right on the 2 second mark. It's now out to 4.2.
That's right. So his last lap was only half a second slower, but it seems to be that he's losing a fair bit of time in the first 2 sectors compared to everyone else. So I think he might just be hurting with these mediums as well.
Yeah, he's probably got another 2 laps he really needs to run on the softs. If he's going to do just the one stop, you want to try and make the 50%, I suppose, race length before you swap over.
Right. That's right. So with Kiwi's times compared to TX3 in front of him, there is a second, my apologies, 0.8 difference. TX3 actually took some time out of Corgi on that lap, so there was a 55.7 for Corgi as opposed to a 55.5 for TX3. So we're going to start seeing this crossover now, and it's going to go the other way for Corgi.
Alright, so where's Davey? Davey's in 4th. 10.5 seconds off the leader, so he's still within fighting distance. He's catching up to Räikkönen pretty quick.
Yeah, he certainly is. So he's still lapping quicker than Kiwi in front of him. Not too far off from TX3 in terms of pace as well. So it's
runs wide there. Gets dangerous hitting the grass around here.
Yeah, it certainly does. And Gran Turismo isn't shy to throw out a few penalties if you're not careful either. So need to be careful.
Yeah, we had Karen in the chat earlier. He's telling us he's maybe given a word up to Morgan tonight about his fuel.
Yeah, well, at the moment at least it doesn't seem like that Porsche's running any leaner than it was last weekend. So might have to suss out the tuning on that, I think. So
Lucas just said in the chat that the liveries in P1 and P2 are both made by Mo Jalen himself. So you've got the Xenox livery for Blacklight. You've also got the Auto 1 livery, which is Mo's creation as well.
That's right, yeah. So
Kiwi Räikkönen's in.
Sure. He's in.
So that's just before
First of the
50%.
one-stoppers. That's right.
Morgan stays out.
You could potentially still get away with a two-stopper, but I feel like you might be. It'd be interesting to see what they do. Find out by how they fill up the cars.
Now, this is one thing we probably want to touch on with Morgan. May not put the best qualifying time down, but this bloke somehow can just pull off a race. Whether he starts from last or second, he knows how to get there by the end of the race and just be on the podium.
Yeah, he's amazing in that regard. He doesn't matter what you give him, what car, what position, he'll find the way to get to the top end somehow. So, just watching Kiwi come out of the pits, he's topped up and switched to softs. So he's got about 80 odd % fuel. So most likely he'll be going to the end of this race. Most likely on a one-stopper.
Also got Artie thumping Karen up into 4th and 5th. So it's a big drive from Karen. He's actually catching Artie here.
Yeah, Artie seems to be struggling a bit more with these mediums. Karen, interestingly, has used a bit more fuel, much like Davey has. But with that being said, it seems like that fuel's that extra fuel burn, if you like, is paying off with the pace.
Speedy still ahead of Stickers. These two haven't really parted from each other yet. They're still sticking together. And then we got Diego back in 8th. And Old Wakey. So the Aussie Hampton boys are sticking together as well in 8th and 9th. Lucky's on a fresh set of tyres. no fuel, so he'll be running some really fast laps right now.
Ooh, Corey, sorry, my apologies, Troy. We've got Corey in at the front of the field. He was really starting to lose time against TX3, so he really needs these. When Corgi changes for a fresh set of mediums, he really needs these mediums to work well and to try and keep up with TX3, because otherwise that gap will diminish, and there's a very good chance that TX3 might jump in when the pit stop shuffles happen.
Now, if I'm TX3, I don't have a chat with him, like a radio chat, but I've been trying to tell him, you've got a bit of a lead, stay out as long as you can and make them softs work for your last stint.
That's right. Well, it seems like lap 11 will be the logical, I wouldn't say logical, but it seems to be the lap to hop in on, I should say, to stop and change. You've got a 21 lap race, so you'll do 11 laps on the mediums and 10 on the softs. You could potentially stretch it to 12 with this current pace, but I think the smart thing would be to cover off Corgi, pit, get the fresh set of softs, use that undercut to your advantage.
I'll just bring up TX3's last lap time, and it was a 55.9, so he's still got pretty good pace on him for a medium 11 laps in, so that's pretty good driving. Morgan down in second, last lap time of 56.1, so yeah, just ever so slightly TX3's pulling away from Morgan, and we've got Karen in third now. So they're all going off the long stint, which is probably might benefit them actually.
Yeah, it'll certainly pay dividends when they switch to the soft tyres, that's for sure. But Karen must have had a real shocker of a lap. On lap 10, he was nearly 2 seconds slower than Davey ahead of him, so he must have had a bit of a lose somewhere. Oh, Morgan's just insanely quick on these medium tyres compared to everyone else around him.
Right, TX3 goes in. Now we need to see Davey. Will Davey go in or stay out? He goes in as well.
Pitting.
Let's have a look at the fuel difference. TX3's on 27, Davey on 14, so he's definitely used some fuel.
Yeah, there'll be about a 3-second penalty for that extra fuel burn, but with that being said, 3 seconds for Davey, he'll make that up somehow.
So we need to see where Corgi comes out now. Corgi's down the main straight.
He's got him. So Lucky manages to get out in front of him, and Kiwi's right behind him.
Alright, so Kiwi will be a lap or two already into his softs, so he's going to be probably a little bit quicker than TX3 straight off the bat. Big job from Lucky here to be up into second, but he has got some big pressure about to start hitting him from behind.
That's right, exactly, and you've got to remember too, he's also on the 2-stopper as well, so he's probably got another 3 or 4 laps worth of fuel before he'll come in, and how much longer will TX3 want to stay behind Lucky? They'll probably want to be smart about it and try and get him into the approach in NASCAR, as there's not really a wise spot in the Lago S's just over here. Kiwi will want to tag along with TX3 as well. It goes right on the back of Lucky's bumper here. That was done a lot earlier than I even thought.
Raikkonen might get a move here too. 3 wide into NASCAR.
Well, that's a good photo opportunity. Oh, there was a bit of a touch.
Tell you what, they got through there cleanly though. So Lucky's still doing well to hold off Raikkonen here, and it's probably going to bridge a gap between TX3, and that's what TX3 will want.
Certainly has.
Raikkonen's going to make the move straight away. He doesn't want to lose that toe.
That's right. He's got some blistering pace as well. So in a 53.9 as he's flying. Oh, TX3. Bit of a tank slapper there.
TX3 is going to get a penalty, I reckon, for that.
Oh, here we go. Here comes Raikkonen.
He does. 0.4.
Oh, no.
Not what he'll want. Look at Corgi. Corgi's right there, so Raikkonen's going to be straight up behind him.
That's right. Now for TX3, that's also put Lucky back in front. Oh, Lucky's just run wide. So maybe that won't be such of an issue for TX3 as anticipated initially. But just another thing to mention as well. So we've got Brocky, who's slowly clawed his way back up to 6th. Now he did make the early stop, so he could potentially be looking at a 2-stopper or running these softs right to the end, if in which case he's still got another 8 laps.
I think he'll take it to the end, but he's also got Morgan Davey back behind him just behind Artie. He is not going to let him through easy. That'll be for sure.
No, definitely not. So Davey's another 2 seconds back from Brocky, and at this current pace, it looks like Brocky will be coming part. My apologies. Brocky and Davey will be fighting in another 2 or 3 laps. So this will get very interesting. It seems to be that TX3 is definitely cleared lucky, so that's. I think he'll be very unhappy about that penalty though. That's cost him dearly. So just on the last lap, it cost him a good second.
Kiwi's
Add
got
another half.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all right. I was just going to say that. So there's probably another a couple tenths just there on this lap alone. So you're probably looking at a net 8-9 tenths second loss. Sorry, my apologies. A bit more than that, but yes. So you'd be looking at a bit more of a time loss than what he was hoping. You take that second away, you would have put him more or less right behind Kiwi and within massive striking distance of Corby too. So.
Kiwi's got the fastest lap of the track on the track at the moment with a 53.9, so he's definitely putting in some pace. He's going to catch Corgi pretty quick, but he's not going to be able to use Corgi to too much of an advantage because them medium tyres are going to slow him down really quick.
That's right. So actually, just another thing to mention on the pace as well between Kiwi and Corgi. You're looking, Kiwi's last lap 13 was a 54 dead, whereas Corgi had a 55.2. So another 2 laps for sure. These two will be side by side. And it looks like TX3 is just slowly tagging himself along with Kiwi too. So it could be a 3-way fight for the lead.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to the end of the race because it doesn't seem like much, but Kiwi pitted two laps probably early for the softs. That'll really come into effect because at the end of the race, because the softs just fall off their grip level, something really bad.
That's right. Well, here we go. We've got the Sector 1 equivalent of Marcus Ambrose and Greg Murphy right here. We've got Davey and Brocky side by side again, so this will be interesting.
Yep, Brocky won't be taking this one lightly. Brocky has a long way to go on his stint too. Oh, look at the defence from Brocky.
Well, he decides to go on the outside. Will he bluff him? No, he doesn't. Straight around the outside. Brocky says, "All right, here you go. Have some of this." Oh, he's a bit of contact there.
Oh, here comes Corey Hack.
So Davey's lost a couple of positions there.
Speedy tyres and Corey Hack just made a bit of a gain there. It's probably going to be some more clicks. Just looking at that one as well. But what do you do?
Leave it to the stewards, I reckon. Let's leave it at that.
So leave it to us, basically.
Yeah, basically, yes. But yeah, we'll look at that later.
All right, so we've got Captain Muffin pulls in for a second stop. Probably going to see up in
and
fourth.
Lucky's come in as well.
Lucky, yep, that's who I was thinking of as well. Hardy Thump into fourth. He'll be so stoked to fourth place in this Group A field if he can hold on to it. So probably about another 6 laps. It's an eternity.
Definitely. Oh, to feel like an eternity. You've got Brocky behind you a couple of seconds back. Admittedly, that had expanded obviously from a handful of tenths now to a couple of seconds with all the fighting that Brocky and Davey had. But yeah, that'll feel like an eternity. At the 6th time behind you, only a couple of seconds back, you'll be
it's 3 wide.
Very tense.
Brocky's got some company right behind him again.
Oh no, they're back at it again, and conveniently in the same section of track. So Dave managed to get past Corey and Speedy relatively quickly there as well. So yeah, this will be interesting to see how this plays out again coming into NASCAR.
I think this is going to end in tears. It's got all the makings for it. There's been 2 incidents so far. This will be a number 3.
Oh, we've got a replica of the last lap. Oh, again, bit of contact.
Anyway, we'll jump back up the front. We don't want to
yes,
do much of that.
that.
So TX3's got around Raikkonen. Raikkonen's had a drama. We've missed that. I don't know if we'll catch it, but we will try. It must have happened down at NASCAR. TX3's got the fastest lap as well. He's taken a 53.6, so he's blistering at the moment.
You know, their sector splits have actually been relatively even, so I would assume it was probably just a draft and an overtake coming into the NASCAR complex.
Oh, we're 10 minutes from the end, and I can guarantee in the hot seat of that Xenox car, he's thinking, man, I wish I had started on mediums right now.
He seems to be getting a bit of slip coming into these corners as well, so it'll just be law of diminishing returns. You just got to keep your head down and know that it's not going to get any better, but just drive the car as straight as you can, not work the car too hard, and hope that there's minimal invoice at the end of the race.
Yeah, well, there will be a bit of a period in the, from the pit stop in the 5-6 lap range where the tyre, the soft tyre will start evening out to the medium.
That's right.
And so TX3 really needs to make this happen and get into the slipstream, because once them mediums do take effect, it's going to be slip and slide for TX3.
That's right, exactly. But looking at their last few lap times, TX3 is taking a couple of cents per lap still out of Corgi, so it won't be long before these two will be they'll be side by side and banging door handles and everything else that we expect of these top drivers.
Well, this is it. TX3 is already in the slipstream here.
Wow. That's we gained 3/10 just in that corner section alone, so let's see if Corgi will be able to hold him off. Got 9 minutes remaining. Tyre wear's relatively good for TX3, so it's his race to lose, one might argue.
Oh, looks as though maybe TX3 short shifting there.
It certainly sounded like it. I was on board with him there, and he went straight into 6th and just tucked in behind. So it might have potentially been that he's under-fueled or worrying about fuel potentially towards the end of the race. He's got a bit of a buffer between himself and Kiwi behind. Can probably afford to play his cards right. Much better exit out of the blind corner there. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's kind of a hard situation to be in. You can stick behind Corgi and just maybe save some tyre and fuel, but you take the chance. I mean, these two are even on lap times when it comes to the crunch, so maybe making the gaps more might work for TX3. I know he works his best when he's in his own clean air.
Yeah, well, if I was TX3, I would just get in front of him.
Oh, Corgi runs wide. That's going to put Raikkonen straight behind him.
Oh, they're playing games along the straight, though. They're trying to stay within each other's draft, but look at that. That's nearly 7/10 just in the approach to NASCAR, so you've got the tyre pace already. You break that out a couple of tenths, and that's it. Well, not that's it, but for the time being, at least, you've broken the draft. You're out of his slipstream. Put your head down and get on with it. Just looking a bit further back, you've got Speedy Tyres, who's actually moved up into 5th. You've got Corey Hack and Davey just behind him in that little train of cars. Karen in 8th, Stickers in 9th. Diego and Wakey are just on their own back there in 10th and 11th. The two-stop doesn't seem to have worked really well for Lucky in 12th. Muffin in 13th, so he's having a real big shocker, and Brocky looks like he's just come in and changed his tyres to a fresh set of boots, just down in 14th.
So Brocky's just in damage control now. He's just having a bit of fun for the night.
I'd say so. He'll probably try and belt out the fastest lap. He's got a third of a tank of fuel. Fastest lap may only be 1 point, but it's a point less that it's 1 point less that the competitors can have. So considering that he's third currently in the standings and only 17 points off Corgi in the standings, every point may count towards the end.
So we're going to see a blistering time here from Brocky. Lucky down in 12th, so definitely the two-stop has not worked.
And interestingly, his pace hasn't been that bad either, so I think it's just the extra transit time, I think it just hurts. And you know, we've got all the front runners slipstreaming and drafting everyone, you know, sort of, I wouldn't say working together, but they're all, you know, sort of moving along compared to everyone else. I don't think that second stop's worked really well for Lucky, which is a bit of a shame, to be honest.
Yeah, he looked really promising at one stage, and then when we seen him pull off in the really early stop, kind of put a dampener on it because we knew that didn't work from the first race and challenge. Diego in 10th, not having the best night. His fan club will still be cheering him on, but yeah, Aussie Hampton 10 and 11.
And just a bit of another shout out to Wakey, actually. So obviously we know he's been called up to Group A very last minute. As of this morning, he's only lapping within a couple of tenths of Diego. So kudos to him for stepping up and actually still, and it's not pace to be ashamed of either. He's holding his own. So good on him.
All right, so we move up to Corey Hack down in 7th. Davies is making some moves. I'm telling you, he's got around Corey Hack and Speedy tyres.
That's right. So Davies' last lap was a 54.4 compared to Speedy, who was a second lap slower behind him. His tyres are much fresher than Speedy, and even compared to Lardy Thump, you've got a 3-second gap, so there's a very good chance he might still 4th off Artie. Artie will be looking in his mirrors very soon.
So we'll just jump back up the front, see where TX3 is. They've just started another lap, so we're going to go into 3 laps by the look of it. TX3 has now pulled out a 2-second gap on Corgi, so unless their mediums start to come back into effect, he's got 2 laps to work with it.
That's right. So there was an 8/10, TX3 gain of 8/10 on Corgi just on that lap. So if these tyres, if the mediums are going to start working, you want to hope they start more or less now, because I don't think he'll have enough time to really make up that deficit.
Yeah, I hope Artie Thump can hold on to 4th, because that'll be a stellar drive for him. It's been a little bit of biffing and weaving from Morgan, and maybe a few corners with Brocky there, but Morgan coming home in 5th is still a big drive to get back up to where he has. Speedy tyres in 6th. Corey Hack looks like he's got stickers and Karen all over him.
Well, they're going to go 3 wide into NASCAR. This is going to get very juicy. Oh, bit of a touch there. Corey got a massive whack from stickers. I'd assume the draft just caught them all off guard. Managed to keep it all intact though, thankfully.
Yep, they're fighting for sheep stations right now because we've got 2 laps to go. Corey Hack, first debut in Group A, to be up in 7th, he's doing really well.
Certainly has. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Fighting against Stickers and Karen, they're very established drivers. They know what they're doing. So well done to him for for being in 7th position at the moment and holding off these 2 guys.
So Brocky's just gone for the fastest lap, 53.2.
Might get another fastest lap from the looks of it. He's got a bit of a toe from Muffin. No, he doesn't. 53.5. He'll most likely get Muffin by the end of this lap, and maybe Lucky by the end of the race. So there might be some points to still salvage from this race.
Let's jump back down to Brocky and see how his time is going.
So he's been in the, my apologies, he's been 53.5 on lap 19 and 53.2 on lap 18. Lap 17 was his out lap, so he can't call the 52.7 flying lap. He's actually gone purple again, believe it or not, to sector 1. Oh, sorry, approaching sector 2, I should say.
He's got a little bit of a toe here from Captain, but it's going to hinder him through these S's onto the back straight.
Yeah, he'll lose a bit of time here, I'm afraid.
He's already got the fastest lap anyway. I don't think anyone's going to break that. But we got bragging rights if you hit a 52, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. It's kudos to him if you can pull that off. But, I might say, sorry to just jump up front real quick. Looks like TX3's built up a 4-second gap between himself and Corgi. TX3 and Corgi are both on the light along with Kiwi, but there's more than enough in those cars to get them home. So I think these mediums just haven't switched on as early as Corgi would have liked.
Yep, so this will be it for Corgi. Sorry, one more lap for Corgi. Kiwi Raikkonen will get another lap in. Hardy Thump's going to make it. I think most of the field's going to get this lap in too.
I'd say so. So you've got Brocky and Captain Muffin, who obviously 13th and 14th, they've got 50-odd seconds to get to the checker flag. So, sorry, to get to the start line, to get there for their 21st lap.
Right, Artie Thump coming under pressure now from Davey.
Ooh, that's
He needs
really
to hold
closed
on
up.
to this.
One more lap.
It's just the worst when you're just so close to the finish line and someone pips you right on the end.
Yeah, it'll be a bit demoralising. But with that being said, it looks like Davey, if he's not careful, he might actually run out of fuel a bit here. Artie Thump's in a better position fuel-wise, but his tyres are a lot worse. Davey, oh, here we go. He's poked the nose under. He's gone for it. Artie might get him on the crisscross, though. He just hasn't got enough. Davey's still got the run on him. So that's 4th place for Davey there.
All right, so everyone got around. So this is it. This is the final lap. Davey up into 4th. We knew he's got some speed. We'll do a quick look down the back here because it looks a little bit tight, maybe down around 8th there. It's Corey Hack and Karen.
Yeah, they're side by side. Side by side. They're going to have a run on each other in the approach to NASCAR. TX3 out front's just bolted though.
Karen gets a little bit sideways. We'll just jump back up to the front now because TX3's coming up to the last corner. He started on the mediums. He started on the softs last week and it didn't work. He started on the mediums this week. It's proved to be a good thing. He's flashing the lights. He knows he's done the good thing. Takes first position. Doesn't quite get the fastest lap. Corgi gets second. Raikkonen will go third. And it's going to be a run to the line for Davies. A little bit of a question mark maybe on the few of tonight's incidents. Artie Thump for 5th.
Speedy is in 6th. Well done there.
Corey Hack will take home 7th. Followed by Karen Stickers. Old Wakey. Lucky. Diego. We've got to say it a few times.
Yeah, we certainly have.
Big race from everyone, but that is yeah, that was a really good race to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed that. Look, obviously a few questionable bits and pieces here and there, but otherwise, relatively speaking, I thought it was a very good race.
So big race there from TX3. Exactly, probably, I shouldn't say exactly probably in the same sentence, but definitely what he set out to do. It's kind of hard to set out to do stuff. Been in the chat with him this week, and yeah, that's what he wanted anyway, and we knew he had it. Big race from Corgi too. Just the wrong tyre strategy just didn't help him. I think same with Raikkonen.
Yeah, I felt like, well, look, it's easy to say this now, but it felt like Corgi probably needed an extra lap or two on those mediums, or either come in earlier or have an extended race. But yeah, it just felt like those mediums didn't switch on. They switched on too late, essentially, at the end of that second stint. It was just too little too late.
So there's probably going to be some heated words tonight between maybe Deeds and CP, so we'll see how that goes. It's obviously going to be coming into the steward's room.
Yep. Oh, I'm preparing the steward's report as we speak, so yeah, I'm expecting lots of incident reports to come through about that one.
But yeah, if you could chuck your driver of the day up, I'm going to give my driver of the day to Artie Thump. I think that was a big drive to still be hanging on to 5th at the end there, or 4th I should say. That's probably what we will do. We'll go back through the race results. So, as we can see, TX3 took first place, Corgi followed second, third was Raikkonen, 4th was Davey, Artie Thump, my driver of the day, into 5th, Speedy Tyres in 6th, Corey Hack for his first debut in Group A, 7th, big drive from him, Karen Unleashed for 8th, Stickers for 9th, Old Wakey in 10th, Lucky for 11th. Lucky showed some really good pace there early on, and then just the strategy definitely didn't play out for him. Diego, worth to mention again, definitely not where he would want to be. Captain Muffin and Brocky, well, Brocky down in 14th. He got his fastest lap on lap 18 with a 1:53.2. Couldn't quite make the didn't quite make the 52, so he probably has it in him knowing Brocky. Probably would have liked to have shown that on screen too, but just couldn't quite get there.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely some heated words or some... I'm expecting some interesting exchanges. But, yeah, we'll see what happens. But,
Alright, so
no.
let me get bring up some information here. If I can find it. Sorry about the pause in commentary. But so
Yeah.
where it's, if I'm correct still, where it's Sardegna Seed next.
Yes, that would sound about right, because we do have the sprint round actually at Sardinia for the next round. So back to the similar race settings as we had for round 1 at the Blue Moon infield. So
And
it shall be very interesting.
And I believe it's a sprint round too, so...
That's correct, yes. So next round will be a sprint round. Yeah, soft tyre only, unlike the last couple of rounds where we've had the soft and medium tyres. So bring it on.
After that, we have Alsace and an Enduro for the last, which will be Circuit de la Sarthe. And yep, that is round 5, Group A, run and done. Both races were pretty good. This one stepped it up a notch, as in different strategies were playing out very differently. Just in the top 3, Raikkonen pulling in a couple of laps early. It definitely hurt him at the far end of the race. Corgi starting on the softs. He really needed the softs to keep up with TX3 at the end, and TX3 running probably a lap longer for the 11 laps really probably put the softs into good working order for the finish of the race. So it all just tipped TX3's way towards the end of the race. But
I'd have to agree with that.
Other than that, I think it all panned out, and apart from a few incidents that we've seen on track there, that was a good race. A lot of people putting in some really good laps and some clean racing. And yep, we'll do it all again next week for Group B.
Sounds good to me.
So thanks everyone for joining in the chat. It's always good to have people talking on the side. Gives us something to talk about. Thanks D-Flow and Lenosis as well. If I don't think he's going to still be there, but
I'm here.
Oh, there you go.
I've just been listening.
Yep, thank you for jumping in the box tonight. Big debut for you, and D-Flow as well. Some good calling tonight. So
yeah, no worries. It was fun.
We will probably leave the stream about there, and we'll head off because it's getting to about 9:15, so it's time for dinner. And thanks to all the viewers. We will be back next Sunday. I don't think we've got a community race this week. It'll be the week after. I could be wrong, but yep, we'll be back next Sunday with Group B. So catch us all then.
See you later.